Well, hello. I apologize because it's after 5 o'clock and this is the first thing I've recorded today. That wasn't my intention, but this week, wow, has been super stressful. And, I'm going to include it as part of the vlog, me talking about what's been going on and that kind of thing this week. Gosh, it just seems like anything and everything. So after our furnace and AC was installed on Friday, a week ago, that went great. However, our water heater started leaking, so that was a whole other ordeal that had to be taken care of. Thankfully, that was fixed yesterday, and we're all good. I haven't even had a chance to really look at it yet, just to kind of see what they did. I don't know if they welded it or what. Well, I may have to go here in just a second. Sorry, it's just really awkward when other people are driving and walking around, while you're vlogging. But anyway, so the water heater situation is dealt with. But Tuesday night, my mom asked me to pick her up. And I don't know if I've really talked about this before or not, but my mom has issues with alcohol. She's an alcoholic. And, it's been that way for 15 years or more, I don't know, at this point. It comes down to, and it's taken me a long time to get to the realization that, my happiness is not dependent on her. And right now she's going through a tough time, and I understand that because my aunt is in the hospital and her days are numbered. Her organs are failing. And, I care deeply about my aunt, but the problem with her is it's due to alcohol and drug abuse. And as bad as I feel, it's due to her own choices. She made those choices, no one else did. And she's been given plenty of chances to change. And, she has a good support system with her family, and, she hasn't changed. That's the reality of the situation. And, gosh, right now is a really busy time in the garage. Maybe this isn't the best time to talk about this. But, so I went to pick my mother up from the bar. That's why she called me Tuesday night at like 9:30. And Rosella went with me, which I'm very thankful for, that I have, such a good friend. It's good that Rosella is here for us. And we're here for her, too, obviously. But everything went pretty fine with my mom. However, there was this other lady there that most of the night she was fine. I mean, it took, a good, half an hour to get my mom out of the bar into the car. And this other lady kind of stopped me from taking her home, basically. It's... You can't really comfort someone when they're in that situation. And, sorry, someone's walking behind me or around me or something. My main goal was to get my mom home safely. But it basically ended up turning into a fight with this other woman who got all offended at me for not being more compassionate for my mom and her situation. And, she really struck a nerve with me because she tried telling me that my dad would have been more compassionate. And he was, for the longest time, But also I think the stress of dealing with my mother and the problems with an alcoholic took a serious toll on him. And as I've told in a previous vlog, he died last year due to heart issues, which, a lot of that can come from stress. And yes, he had a stressful job, but he also had sorry, that was Alex calling me. I kind of forget where I was at, but at that moment I just had to get my mother in the car. It was not comforting her for another hour was not going to help the situation. Zella was with me. We had to get home and get to bed and that kind of thing. And this other woman really upset me, and I try not to get upset based on things that drunk people say, because arguing with them and whatever, it's not gonna end well ever. And I kept my cool until she started talking about my dad and what my dad would have done and yada yada yada, and how he'd be disappointed in the way that I was treating my mother and handling the situation. So, I told her what I felt was the truth, that, my mother never made things easy for him, and, look how it ended. It did not end well for him. And he always, my parents fought sometimes, but he was always there for her. And maybe babying her is not going to fix the situation. It's not going to change anything. She is a grown woman, and I told this other lady this. I said, my mother's a grown woman in her 40s. She's an adult. She makes her own decisions. And it's been proven that alcoholism is a disease. There's nothing that anyone can do except the alcoholic. It's up to them to make a change in their life. Just like with the drug addict. Same thing. I can't make her decisions for her. And, that's the way it is. I can do everything in my power to help, to fix the situation, and I do. But I'm kind of to the point where there's not much else that I can do. And, I can't let that ruin my life. I have to move on. And the lady went so ballistic that I had to jump in my car and, drive away, because she started pounding on my window. I thought she was going to break my car window, and she was screaming at me and everything else. And, I left her there to deal with my mother. That became her problem. It's not my problem, and I haven't spoke to my mom since, and it's now Friday, which usually I only talk to her once a week, if not less, so that's not really surprising. She did try calling me the other day, but typical of her, I tried calling her back and never got a hold of her. And she never leaves voicemails or text messages telling you, what the situation is. I tried that, and she just says basically, call me. So who knows? I guess it wasn't that important, But what can we do? And then, so to add to the stress of this week, our financial situation is just not very good this week for a lot of reasons. And basically, my paycheck was canceled out by bills, so that's always great. I think, and this is for a later conversation, me handling all the finances is just too much stress for me. I think part of the issue is Alex has never had to do it by himself, and I think after having a conversation with Ozella, what we're going to do is basically tell Alex he needs to handle all the finances, and I'm just not going to worry about it. And see how long it takes him to fail, basically, and that's the only way that you learn. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that he needs to know how to do it. He needs to actually go through our bank accounts, pay the bills, handle all of that, to see what I have to deal with. And, see how stressful it is when you run into the situation where, we don't have the money to pay the bills. I've tried stressing to him before, like, we have a mortgage, we have this and that and that, and, these bills must be paid. They've got to be paid. Regardless, doesn't matter. So, that is what it is. Alright, I'm going to drive home now. Hopefully the traffic has subsided a little bit and my car is nice and warmed up. And I'll see you guys there.